I'm going to be making ghee. It is a type of butter, I guess. It's pretty much this clarified butter that you cook a little longer so that the milk solids kind of brown a little and give it kind of a nuttier flavor. But it removes all the milk solids, all the lactose and proteins that can cause allergies and digestive problems so that it's easier to digest and eat. It also makes it have a higher smoke point so you can fry with it. If you try to fry like with butter, normally, it browns and burns. But this makes it just an oil that you can actually fry with. It's pretty cool. And also it makes it more shelf stable, so I can just set it on my counter in a jar and it won't go rancid for a while. And I can just use it like that and have soft butter-like product. Since I'm putting this into canning jars, not mason jars, but jars, and it's going to be hot. I want hot jars, but I don't want the jars to be in water because I don't want any moisture in the jars. So I heated my oven to 200 and put the jars in there, and I'm just leaving in there to set and get hot so that they're ready when I go to use them, and I don't have to worry about any residual moisture or anything in the jar that's going to cause any issues. So I'm going to unwrap all this butter and put it in this pan here. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to slowly heat this up here. And once it gets all melted, I'll be back and I'll show you how it goes. I'm going to kind of simmer it for a little bit. You don't want to do it on too high of a heat because you don't want it to burn. But you want it to evaporate all the water out of the butter and then separate the milk solids out. So I'll be back. Okay, it's all melted, and now I'm just going to bring it to like a light boil, like a simmer. I don't want it to burn on the bottom or anything like that. I just want it to evaporate all of the water out and separate. So once it starts to boil here, I'll be back. It's starting to bubble. You don't really want to fuss with it and stir too much because you're trying to get the solids to separate and float to the bottom, and you're just going to keep mixing it up if you do that. So now that it's starting to bubble, I'm just going to watch it, and I'm going to turn the heat down to almost low, just so that it doesn't burn. It's slightly bubbling, releasing the steam, and separating here. So you don't want to rush it. It doesn't take over long anyway, just a nice, slow, steady heat. Okay, see how it is? I have it on the very lowest setting because I do not want it to burn. And I am just sort of kind of scooting light and gently the foam because I'm going to scoop this out and put it in a bowl, and then you can save this and it will harden, and it's kind of like whipped butter itself, so it doesn't have to go to waste. So I don't know if I can do this with one hand here and hold a camera without either dropping this into the butter, one or the other, or messing this up. So I'm just going to lightly scoop this out and put it in this dish here. There we go. I've got some of the buttered foam out. I guess it will harden and turn back into like a whipped butter. You can see more is forming. I'm just going to sit here and just slowly watch it. Like I said, try not to stir it, try not to mess with it. When you go to take, like I said, the foam off, it's really easy to separate. You just sort of scoot it, and then you can just take a light spoon and just kind of skim it off the very top. It's very easy. It looks like some more foam here, so you just lightly kind of scoot it to one area. You can see how it's becoming more clear, more translucent. Looks more oil-like, I guess. Let's see if I can scoop some of this out here. Just lightly scoop it out. See, it's not that hard. Just keep lightly touching the surface, because it's like this foam is more like it's really thick, almost like a film that you can get off pretty easily. You see how it's becoming more and more clear as the steam is released and the milk solids are going to the bottom of the pan. Can you hear it sizzling? I don't know if you can. It doesn't look like it's doing something, but it is. See, over in the corner there, it's just like I said, you don't want to burn it, so you have to be patient with it. If you do need to turn it, just do little increments up and down and slowly. You can see right there that it is actually still, it's still bubbling. You can still hear it too. I don't know if you can hear it. I can. It's nice and clear. Just keep kind of smoothing the top here. Just so I can keep continual watch at the bottom. As soon as it starts to turn any type of golden color is when I'm going to remove it from the heat. So it's better to be patient and do it on a lower heat than try to hurry the process up and do it at a higher heat and burn everything. Because I have it on very low. Almost ready. You can see how nice and clear it is, almost like golden water. It is very, very clear. And the solids at the bottom probably going to start sticking and cooking soon. See nice and clear that is. A beautiful golden color. Keep going like this until it becomes golden at the bottom. And you can impart that kind of toasted, nutty flavor to it. Okay. It's doing this little thing there. It's a lot hotter than it looks, so be very careful. I'm going to go ahead and get my jars out of the oven and set them over here, because this is almost ready. This is the point where it is definitely finished. You can go ahead and take it off and strain it, because the solids are all stuck to the bottom. Let me see if I can see how they're at the bottom there. Like I said, some people they'll try to caramelize the bottom a little bit to impart like a more nutty flavor to the ghee, which pretty much is what makes the ghee compared to clarified butter, I do believe. But I'm just going to let it go just a little bit longer. Scoop out the rest of this foam here, because the more I scoop out, the less I have to worry about clogging my my cloth that I'm going to use to strain it. Jar here, I just have just an old jar that I cleaned, put a funnel in it, and then I'm putting this cloth on it. That way I can strain it through there. I don't know how many jars I'm going to need. I have I think 5 of them here. They're about the same size. They're just used jars that I cleaned up and stuff. I'm not canning these for shelf-stable storage, although I'm pretty sure it is, or it will be. I'm going to just stick it in my fridge and it'll last in there for, at least a year or so before I use it all. Okay, I'm just going to put some out here. Pour it into the jar. I'm just going to do this slowly so that I don't make a giant mess everywhere. Just keep doing that. See as it drains through there, and the solids left over collecting. You're left with this beautiful clear clarified butter. So I'm going to keep doing that and filling up these jars. I'll be right back. Beautiful clarified butter. About 3 pounds gave me about 3 jars. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lids on here. There we go. Now I can just store a couple in the fridge and have one to use, and I can use it for cooking and frying and all kinds of things. To show you the foam here, you see I'm mixing it together, and as it's cooling down, it's turning into more like a whipped butter product, so it'll turn back into butter too. So this is not wasteful. And some people even, when they caramelize the solids in the bottom of the pan, I don't, because it's easy to clean out, and I like the flavor. But when you do, you can make like a little treat out of it, kind of like a little caramelized milky treat. See, it's turning more and more into like butter as it's cooling. So you're left with butter, pretty much still, that you can use here. You're left with that little treat that you can eat too, but then you're also left with, oh yeah, it's pretty good, kitty cat. And then you're left, like I said, with clarified butter that you can use for all sorts of things. And of course, if you're trying to do this to get rid of the parts that might make digestive problems, then you just throw this away, of course. And you don't eat the solids at the bottom either. Here in the pot, I scooped it together here. It smells very caramel-like. Nice and sealed up there. Nice and clarified. You can tell there's no gunk at the bottom. The foam. See, it's hard. Let me. So I put it back in the refrigerator, and it got hard and became like butter. So it really is not a waste when you can take that out and still use it and stuff here too. So this will be great for, like I said, for frying things up, especially steak. That might be good, and some eggs. So if you're wanting to buy some clarified butter and you are shocked by the cost of paying like $15 or something for a jar like this, you can make it for, $2 or $3 worth of butter.